Diane Guerrero, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Took you by surprise.
It did.
There
It's
you
just
go.
like the applause. I remember I like this.
How are you?
I'm great.
Do you like this? The interview stuff? Has it come easy to you?
No, it's not easy.
I'm happy you didn't lie to me.
No, it doesn't come easy. I think once I'm in it and I get comfortable, it's fine.
But then acting comes super easy to you.
I like that better.
What's
It's
the big
more-
difference? Like, why do you fear this and you don't fear that?
Because this is like me being who I am, or like you seeing me for me, and then obviously I still use some of who I am in acting, but you guys don't know that.
Okay, so we'll start. We'll start off slow. We'll talk about Maritza,
Okay.
your character in Orange Is the New Black.
Yeah.
So at the end of season 5, that big riot,
Yeah.
your character gets transferred to another prison. We think she's gone. The fans spoke up. The world changed, and now she's back.
Yeah.
Walk me through that process as Diane. What was going on through your head? This is a show you've been in since what, 2013?
Yeah.
Walk me through what happened.
They just got sick of me. You know, no. It was just, I think that's just the way the storyline went, and I think we were always always waiting for that. I was like, when are they gonna like get rid of my character? Or like, what's gonna happen? You know, is there gonna be a season where I'm not gonna be in, or some people come back? And so we saw a lot of that.
That's healthy.
That was healthy, sure. I was just like, you know what, anytime I can go, and I did. And I liked it. I think it raised the stakes. And I'm all about the story. And if that meant me having to go away for an entire season, then so be it.
Did you know you were going to come back though?
No, I thought that was it for me. I thought that was the end. I mean, in my mind, I was like, that can't be it. Like, there has to be some sort of redemption, or like, you know, some sort of closure with the character. And it did. It came this season, and it was so surprising, and it was like touching. I was like all like, yeah.
What was your reaction
Sad
when you came
and happy.
back?
I came in as like a new actor, I feel like I had a chance. Like I had a whole year not being on Orange, and I at the same time I was working on other shows, so I played different characters, and I got to exercise just some different parts of me. I mean, I was also experimenting with other sides of me too, as a person who I wrote a book. So I was doing a lot of work with that, going to different schools and talking to big audiences about my point of view and my life. And so I think that really changed me, and I came back and I felt stronger and I felt really good about being there.
You've been on the show since 2013. I'm no good at math, but I know that's a long time.
That's a long time.
It's
And
a
it
long
was like
time.
it was like my first big real gig.
When did it feel real, and when did it feel big for the first time?
When it felt real, I think even like as soon as the first season, like towards the end of the first season. And then of course when the season released, that's when it became real, because no one understood really what Netflix was, like original content from Netflix was. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
How, like,
crazy that we were there when that happened.
We were there.
And now it's part of our life.
All of these like platforms, and it's part of our lives, right? What's cable? What? What is that? What's a
You're
network?
aging yourself.
What,
I don't know what
yeah,
that is.
Exactly. You don't.
Streaming.
Streaming. That's what it is. And so I guess I just didn't know what it was. And then when I was walking down the street with some of my castmates, and like people reacting to us, but like not in the way that you would think. Like it wasn't fandom that like, oh my God, I love you. It was like, I love the show. These are stories we want to hear. And also, we don't normally see shows like this. So thank you. And that was just a different feeling, I guess.
And it was also kind of insidery. Like when you discovered that show for the first time, you
Yeah.
were part of a group that the rest of the world was playing catch up on.
Right. And because we were telling women's stories, and also women who are struggling,
Right.
you know, that's a different thing. And so that's when I realized, oh wait, so I'm doing a show that people are actually watching. So there's that, right? We know.
Right.
That's number one. And then two, it's making a difference, and it's making people feel included, and it's making people feel stuff. So.
And then when did you first realize how big it had gotten?
maybe until maybe now.
Is it when you start naming your show just by the word orange?
Yeah, when you say orange and people are like, yeah, we know what
it is. No, but for you, but what was the big moment? Like when you just said now.
Yeah, I guess now.
What do you mean?
I mean, just looking back and being like, I was on a show since 2013 and it's still going and it's just it's our last season and you know, our fans are mourning the fact that we're not going to be on anymore, and the fact that we were sort of one of those shows that pioneered this whole streaming service. I think that makes me look back and go, damn, that was pretty big.
You're kind of historical.
I think so.
I agree.
Honestly, that's all I'm interested in, is being part of history.
Being written down in history.
Absolutely.
There's Lincoln and then there's orange.
And then there's orange.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this. You know, what's interesting about any actor that sits here, they always talk to me about like the residual effect that they have when you get so deep into a character, you spend so many years on it. It must change who you are as a person, your outlook.
Yeah.
So how did playing Maritza, who is a prisoner, a struggling female in this absurd world, affect Diane Guerrero's outlook on life?
It affected me greatly because I saw, I mean, not only looking at it affected me greatly because I saw how much work we needed to do. And it made me look at the state of our society, the state of our country. It made me look deeper into that, and it made me feel like maybe I could be a part of some change. I don't know.
You in your year off, you wrote a book. So in your year off, you wrote the book, right?
No, I wrote the book in 2016.
Okay.
So I was still, I think maybe it was sort of my 4th or 5th season.
So this is what I was thinking. Your own real life could be turned into a movie. You authored the book, In the Country We Love, My Family Divided.
Yeah.
A crazy story. When I started researching you coming in here, the first paragraph, what I start reading is that when you were 14, your parents and your older brother are deported.
Yeah.
Leaving you by yourself here.
Right.
All alone. Mm-hmm. That's a crazy story.
Yeah. Well, not so crazy when you
actually do it. Crazy for me.
Right, crazy for you because you've
never done it.
You'd never done
it. For sure.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how that experience, how do you use that experience in your work and in your life? And then where have I seen that come out in your work?
Well, I have to say that, I mean, being on Orange is the New Black certainly inspired me just by the people who were working with me. I mean, I was working with women who were already working on being their most honest selves and being truthful and being outspoken. I mean, just the character I played wasn't as outspoken as some of the other ones, but clearly outspoken to like have done some crazy like get yourself into jail.
Right.
You know what I mean? But so I was just around a lot of people that were making moves and not wanting to hide from who they were, right? And so that was inspiring to me because I was holding on to this truth, to this information that I had, information that was very personal to me, something that happened to me, but also something that affects millions of people. And I was walking around thinking and feeling like I was alone. And so when you do that, what happens is that you retreat. There is no one you can talk to, there's no one you can relate to, and there's no way people can really relate to you. And so I wanted to be as honest and outspoken. And so I decided to do it in this way. Mm-hmm. But because I saw that people needed to hear that information.
I love that.
Yeah. And how has it shaped my work? Sorry, can I say that?
Yeah, of course.
And I guess in ways that you've seen this shape me is in how I exercise empathy, and the characters that I play are strong, and they also are affected by this institution, right? Maritza is affected by the institution. The character I play on Doom Patrol is affected by institutions and the institutions that have been placed. And so I think I'm sorry, let me say that again.
Go ahead.
I'm just happy that, and it shows and it just tells you a lot about me that I'm playing characters that have gone through something, clearly.
Give me, I think in this, in the last, I see a huge growth in the character of Maritza through the entire seasons, right? I can't wait for this new season. I haven't had a chance to see it yet. But you said something earlier that this is the deepest you've ever dove into this character. Give me an example of that. Like, how deep are you going, and how have you started exploring this character even further?
Well, I mean, so this season we cover immigration. So obviously it's something that hits home with me, because obviously my entire life I talked about immigration, thought about how it affected me and my family. It did affect our family, and so that was something that I normally don't like to revisit, even though, yes, I shared it in a book. I shared it with my talks, and when I talk to kids who are going through it, or families that have gone through it.
So good job, Tim, bringing it up.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to go cry now.
Yeah, sorry.
No, so I visit this topic all the time. I had never done it, in something that I play. So I haven't shared this story as an actor yet. I hadn't played a part that had to, with this, surrounding this topic. And so I didn't know how to separate myself with that. So it's like I had moments of like complete blankness. Like I didn't know how to feel and show that. And then other moments where I'm like, I know what this is. I know this feeling, and this is what I'm going to allow for people to see. And sometimes when things are that close to you, it's hard for you to share that in like an artistic way.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. We can't talk about Maritza without, of course, talking about Flocka.
Yes.
Played by Jackie Cruz.
Yes,
you guys
my
have an
girl.
amazing rapport on
Yes.
screen. When you first met, do you have to work on that? Is that naturally there? Was it instantaneous? Take me back to the first time you met Jackie.
I mean, sure, yeah, our relationship has taken work, for sure, and any relationship, and that's what I've learned, is that you have to work at every relationship. But with her and I, it came really easily because she was so generous. She was generous as a friend, but also as an actor. And
I always hear this. So actors talk about the generosity of other actors.
Literally with
literally, everyone says this. I always think she gave you a Bentley, but it's actually not that. What do you mean? Break that. What do you mean by that?
I mean, I meant she played with me. Like in a scene, she had my back. She gave me a lot, even when, like, let's say when somebody says that actor wasn't generous, it means that for your close up, they literally went to go have a coffee.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So think of like the opposite of that. Someone who is there.
Even when they don't need to be.
Even when they don't need to be, and it's your responsibility to carry your own character. But she was always there. And I mean, to being in front of the camera, to also saying, hey, do you want to go grab a sandwich? Or, hey, do you want to go to what is it, Soho and like buy stuff? And I'm like, okay. And so we became really cool. And I came in, super shy, not thinking I wasn't gonna, of course everyone thought that it was gonna be like 2 episodes and then they were gone, and it just turned out to be like this big thing. But it's like school. You go into a new school and you're scared, and so she was my friend.
If I was a shopkeeper and I saw you and Jackie Cruz walking in, I'd have some weird, like, I know them, wait, what? I know them from...
If you saw us together, immediately...
You spot it for what it is.
Yes, I cannot go anywhere with her.
Does real life ever, like, affect you in the way of, like, where you can't separate yourselves from the character?
Oh my God, when I get with her, I'm like back to being Maritza. And that's why I'm like, I'm not hanging out with you anymore because I can't do this anymore. It's so funny because when you play a character and people think that you're that way, and I'm so, because I felt like, or I feel like I've always been misunderstood in my real life, I've always felt like I needed to show who I really am at all times. And so when people are like, are you just like your characters? But when I'm with Jackie, we get into like this very playful mode, and I quickly remind myself that I need to step away.
Play a game with me real quick.
Okay.
I want to get to know a few of your castmates.
Yes.
Okay, but the actual people, not the characters. I'll give you some scenarios, and you tell me who would you call.
Okay.
Ready? All right. You've entered a dance competition. Who's your partner?
Adrienne Moore.
Good dancer.
Yeah, she's a fantastic dancer.
Who do you call for relationship advice?
Who do I call for relationship advice? Selenice Leva, for sure.
Why?
She's so wise.
Really?
Yeah, I would go to her for stuff, and she would just like, look, this is who you are.
Give me an example. Like, what advice?
What's an example? When I was in a relationship that just wasn't good for me, she just told it to me straight. She said, listen, he's gorgeous, he's hot, but he doesn't let you be yourself, and you want to be yourself.
That guy's a bozo.
That guy's a freaking bozo. You're a bozo.
You are a bozo, bro. All right. Something went down. We're not going to say exactly what, but there's a body. Which castmate are you calling to help you dispose of it? Someone that won't ask any questions. Just down, ride or die.
Jackie Cruz.
Jackie Cruz?
Absolutely.
That's great.
Wait, I have another one.
Go on.
Dasha Polanco.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because she's a homie.
She's like that?
Yeah.
Just anything, just
Just
right on die,
yeah.
that's it?
Yeah, but with Jackie, I guess we have more of a rapport, so I would...
Who is the most unlike their character? Like, who, when you see them transforming, you just like, whoa, that's acting 101 right there.
Uzo.
Why?
She's so different from her character.
What is she like in real life versus...
She's just like this kind of serene being. I think that Uzo's Crazy Eyes, the character is always sort of trying to calm herself down, and Uzo just walks into a room and she's just like, she's collected. She puts her hand on you and you're just like,
And then she switches into Crazy Eyes.
And then she gets into Crazy Eyes, yeah. That's I love watching her.
I loved watching you in Doom Patrol.
Thank you.
Crazy Jane.
Yeah.
It's a crazy character.
It's an amazing character.
The psychologist goes and says that she's got dissociative identity disorder, which means multiple personalities. As an actor, that's a challenge. We counted 64 personalities in one performer.
Yeah.
How on earth do you even start? Where do you begin, and how do you end that kind of process?
Well, it was something I've always wanted to do because I was just so hungry to. I'm like, when am I going to get to play like a character that is, like as a superhero? I always wanted to like play an elf or something, just because I think I have elf-like features, and I felt like I'd be perfect.
Wait for it. Look at that camera real quick. Elfing. Go on.
So elfing, I love that.
Well, you see elfing. What we do afterwards in post. Yeah.
I love it. So when I got this role, I just couldn't believe it. I was so excited, and then I was like, wait a minute, how many did you say? Was it 64? Oh, how am I going to pull this off? But what you realize is that, once you have this main character grounded, you yourself have so many different personalities, and you just have to, I guess with a role like this, you just have to get really specific. And so I made sure that I wrote all of them down, and as I worked on them, I kept a diary for each character, so that when I have to revisit it, I also had to watch a lot of it when it would come out. I had to deal with the producers. I'm like, you need to show me this character so I can like at least learn from it, and then go from there. And so I could keep them kind of all together, because I would switch pretty often.
I can't wait till your new boyfriend finds that diary and starts reading through it. Like, who the hell am I dating right now?
Yeah, right? Some crazy person.
64. How do you switch in between them? Like, because if you watch Doom Patrol, in a second, refrigerator door closes, opens, different person. How do you do that?
Well, we do. I mean, sometimes I have to do it just on the spot. I have this kind of like rewind thing that I do.
What is that? What was that you just did? I'm not sure. What is
it's the
that?
best acting you've ever seen.
Wait, do that again for me. And then you're now possessed.
So I would do, possessed, yes, exactly. Well, another character comes to the surface, right?
Okay.
So if I'm Jane right now, I had I know certain characteristics of another character would come in. So Hammerhead kind of had this tilt like that. And so if I was here, then I would simply go here.
I don't like Hammerhead.
Yeah, and then
that reminds me of an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Which is the character you love? Yeah, which is the character you love getting into character for? Which personality and why? Tell the truth, don't lie.
Okay, I like getting into Baby Doll.
Why? Oh, the voice.
Because she's like this, and she's so much fun, and also this is how I want to be all the time. I just like stop myself because I'm afraid that people will think I'm too happy.
How do you, that voice when I watched it on Doom Patrol is fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
You've been practicing that for years.
It's just something that comes natural. My dog has that a little of a similar, but hers is more like this. You see, my name's Penny.
So that's why I like getting in my mom's bed because I'm little. That's why.
Which is the one that which character, sorry, this has got everyone here laughing. Which is the character you're most like in real life?
I have
Again, tell the truth. I see you accessing
I wanted to say Hammerhead, but she's like this.
Yeah.
I would say Hammerhead.
And
scary.
And why?
Because she's just a firecracker. She's very irritable. I would say I'm working on that, okay? I'm working on myself to stop being so angry. But there's something that it's such a release for me, you know?
I irritated you within 2 minutes of
You
meeting
sure did.
I know, I tried.
You sure did.
I give it valiant efforts. We do this bit in every show. We ask you what you're watching. And what I love about you is that you love watching TV and films.
That's all I do.
For real?
Oh, yeah.
That 1 year off must have been binge session after binge session.
I love being unemployed so I could just watch things. It's fantastic. Me and my couch have a very special relationship.
Okay, so first off, what do you need around you when you're about to binge watch a show?
I need like some sort of chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like eating chocolate.
And what are you watching?
I am watching I'm watching Pose.
Okay, this is Billy's one, right?
Yes.
Yes. Go on, tell me about Pose. Yes.
Well, Pose is set in like late 70s.
78 places.
Late 70s, early 80s, and it's featuring ballroom dancing in the queer and trans community in that time. So obviously, this community was having this amazing safe haven where they can go and be themselves and perform and compete for actual trophies. And, and in turn, they were just helping each other out as a community. And so I'm learning so much about the queer community obviously I am a big advocate for LGBTQ rights and as well as equal rights for everyone. And I'm just seeing how much of an impact the queer community has had in my life and in all of our lives. And it's just beautiful to see. And I just kind of see so many similarities of everything that I think is beautiful in a show like this. So.
What are you seeing? Tell me more. What are you seeing in the show that you don't see in other shows?
I'm seeing history, right? I love learning, like I said earlier. I'm learning so much about what was going on at that time, just how this community has been just pioneers in self-expression, in living out their truth, in human rights, advocates for human rights. And so I've just been seeing how liberating it is to be yourself, but how difficult that must have been and how it is in a world that doesn't accept you.
Great recommendation. What's next on your watch list?
Big Little Lies, because it's just a world that I have no connection to, right? So I have more connection to Pose, because it's like, a trans, queer, and people of color struggling. Obviously, that is a story that I connect to. But now there's a story about these like rich white women living in in a beautiful place by the beach.
You and I have zero in common with that, right?
No connection, but I just love it. I love the drama, and I just kind of like seeing how the other half lives, I guess.
It's crazy how such a simple premise, like kind of in the first season, it's based around a school and things happening between kids, just erupts into this firestorm of a world now which has Meryl Streep.
Exactly. Well, and also kind of gives me an insight on like how people are living. I mean, I'm an actor, so in this industry, you're kind of just always going, and my life isn't settled yet. I don't have children. I don't have like neighbors that I talk to. I don't have like a core group of PTA people I go to see. That's not my life at all. And so this stuff is super juicy, and I love how they're also bringing in just really serious issues like abuse. And how women are treated, and kind of like the side of someone being in an abusive relationship, and then someone on the other coin being abused, and her having to like deal with that stuff too.
Are you up to date on it?
Yes, I am.
You're like waiting. Are you watching this every Sunday?
Yes, I'm watching this
Living
every
for
Sunday.
it?
Yeah, that and all of them. I'm watching all the shows.
Give me another one. What else are you watching?
I'm watching Rami.
Oh yes, love Rami.
That's on Hulu.
Talk about a star on the rise right there. Why are you
I've
doing that?
Instagrammed
No,
him.
have you?
Like he put up like second season, and I was like, I can't wait. And I'm like, always like I'm fangirling over Rami. I love it. And
What do you love about his particular show?
I love how real it is. I love how like close it is to me, but yet so far again, like I'm brown, and I'm like that's so much of my identity is that I'm a brown woman, and I take pride in that, and there have been some hurdles over that and whatever, but I always think, oh, I know everything about brown people, right? And like I know different communities that are diverse because this is how I grew up. But I had no idea about what an Egyptian family goes through, what a Muslim family goes through, and he just shows every aspect of his life, like his religion as being an American and being a Muslim at the same time, and some of the values that he has while also having American values, but also keeping very true to his Muslim values and his Egyptian values, even though he doesn't even have to.
Do you think a show like that can have an effect on the greater kind of
Absolutely.
culture?
Absolutely. I think it's a show that people need to watch because you get to see a family who is a family like a Muslim family who is often scrutinized, and often we don't know about it because we don't ever share these stories. But now watching these stories, you can see, oh, that's a family just like my family.
Yeah, love him, love that show. Give me a movie. Do you go to the cinema?
I go to the cinema all the time.
All right, so
I
give
don't
me-
call it cinema.
Theatre.
Yeah, I do.
Sorry.
I know, it's funny.
Call it my living room. No, give me what one movie's coming out that you're super excited for.
That I'm super excited. Oh my God! Can I just?
I don't want one that you're like lukewarm about. I
No,
want one that you're super excited for.
I just saw. I saw two movies, and they were amazing for different reasons. I saw Rocket Man.
Okay.
One of the best things I've seen so far. I have to say, I have raved about it.
But everyone knows about Rocket Man.
Does everyone know about Rocket Man?
Of course, everyone knows about Rocket Man. It's the Elton John movie.
No, it's not.
Tell me about a movie that's coming up that you've heard about that you cannot wait to go see. Is there anything out there?
Crap, I don't think so.
No, nothing?
I don't know.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's one of them. Like, any other suggestions?
I want to see that, but I'm like...
Lion King, things like that.
Oh, I want to see Lion King. Yes, I'm excited about Lion King.
Do you want to, I mean, you definitely cried when you saw the animation version. Now seeing this in full-blown live action.
I hope I enjoy it. I love the animated version so much.
Yeah.
And it just made me feel so many things.
I'm hearing this one's better.
Oh, really?
It's what I'm hearing. The premiere was recently, and I'm hearing that this one is better.
I can't wait.
All right.
I can't wait for the Lion King.
Listen, thank you so much for
Thank
coming here.
you.
It's been a real pleasure. I'm happy we survived this. I've been on edge. I'm
I'm
sweating.
happy too. I was on edge too.
I'm sweating. Why
Yeah.
are you on
You
edge?
came at
I'm
me
not-
hard. That's why.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
you did.
Listen, thank you so much for being here. Good luck with everything. Firm handshake. Check out Diane in the new season of Orange is the New Black, streaming now on Netflix. Ex-boyfriend, you're a bozo. If you want to stay in the know on all the latest shows and movies this summer, head on over to imdb.com/show.